Unit 41, the Romanization of Britain, Loanwords and Calques. The Romanization of Britain, spanning nearly 4 centuries, profoundly shaped not only the island's cultural and political landscape, but also left an indelible mark on the English language. Many commonplace English words we use daily, including street, port, and camp, trace their origins back to Latin. This presentation explores how Roman occupation transformed Britain's landscape and language, examining the process from initial military incursions to full-scale invasion and ultimately to the Roman withdrawal. We'll investigate the layers of Latin influence across historical stages of English, highlighting specific lexical borrowings and calques that continue to enrich our vocabulary today. From prehistoric Britain to Celtic influence. Britain's early history laid important foundations before Roman contact. From Neolithic communities that built henges and enclosures to the arrival of Celtic peoples who established distinct cultural identities, the island had already developed rich traditions and linguistic patterns that would later interact with Latin elements. From 8300 BC to 750 BC, nomadic hunter-gatherers evolved into agricultural communities, building impressive monuments like Stonehenge. Around 700 BC, Celts spread across Britain, establishing tribal settlements and introducing Brythonic languages. Druidic figures served as religious, legal, and cultural guides, ensuring Celtic traditions remained vibrant. The Roman conquest of Britain, 55 BC, 410 AD, the Roman conquest transformed Britain through military might, administrative efficiency, and cultural integration. From Caesar's initial forays to the establishment of permanent settlements, Roman influence gradually permeated British society, creating lasting infrastructure and institutions. Julius Caesar's exploratory campaigns introduced Roman power to Britain, but didn't result in permanent occupation. Emperor Claudius authorized a complete invasion under Aulus Plautius, rapidly securing southeast Britain and establishing client kingdoms. Romans built extensive road networks, founded Londinium, and constructed Hadrian's Wall in 122 AD to mark their northern boundary. As the Western Roman Empire declined, legions withdrew, leaving a vacuum filled by migrating Germanic tribes. The impact of Romanization in Britain. Romans introduced structured administrative systems in urban centers like Londinium, London. Their extensive road networks facilitated military logistics and trade, connecting distant regions effectively. Romans brought new lifestyles, including advanced sanitation through public baths, innovative architecture, and leisure facilities. City names ending with Chester, from Latin castra meaning camp, reflect their military origins. While Latin never completely replaced native Celtic languages, it profoundly influenced vocabulary. This linguistic absorption introduced Latin loanwords and calques that persist in modern English. Romanization created a complex cultural tapestry that persisted long after Roman departure. The integration of Roman customs, from culinary practices to clothing, transformed everyday life. This period set the foundation for the Britain we recognize today, interwoven with Roman legacies and later Germanic cultural transformations. Understanding borrowings, loanwords and calques. Borrowing refers to the adoption of linguistic elements from one language into another. This process has been fundamental to English's development, allowing it to absorb and integrate vocabulary from Latin and other languages throughout its history, creating a rich and versatile lexicon. We examine 2 basic processes, loanword and calques. Loanwords are terms adopted directly from another language with minimal adaptation. Some examples are wine, Latin vinum, street, Latin strata, cheese, Latin caseus, mile, Latin milia pasium, calques, also known as loan translations. They are phrases translated word for word into the borrowing language. Some examples are flea market, French marché aux puces, honeymoon, German Flitterwochen, or gospel, Latin Evangelium, good news. Latin influence on Old English. Latin influence on Old English occurred in three distinct waves, each contributing unique vocabulary. Continental contact introduced words like wine, vinum, camp, campus, and coin, moneta. Celtic transmission brought terms such as port, portus, and chest, cista. The most significant impact came through Christianity, which introduced religious terms like bishop, episcopus, priest, presbyter, and educational vocabulary, including school, schola, and grammar, grammatica. Continental influence early Germanic tribes encountered Romans on the European continent, borrowing terms related to trade and military life. After Roman withdrawal, Celtic communities transmitted Latin terms into Old English. This is the influence of Latin through Celtic transmission. Finally, the introduction of Christianity brought extensive ecclesiastical and scholarly Latin vocabulary into English. Latin influence on Middle and Modern English. The Middle English period saw Latin dominate ecclesiastical and academic contexts, introducing terms in law, justice, legal, testimony, evidence, medicine, remedy, infection, physician, diagnosis, and education, library, lecture, examination. Following the Norman conquest of 1066, French-mediated Latin terms flooded into English, permanently altering its vocabulary profile and introducing a distinctive, multi-tiered lexicon where Germanic and Latinate terms often existed side by side. During the Renaissance, the printing press expanded education, and classical revival further accelerated Latin borrowing, despite controversy over inkhorn terms, neologisms considered overly pretentious by linguistic purists. Intellectuals like Thomas Eliot deliberately introduced Latin-derived terminology to enhance English's expressive capacity. Words once considered affected, like encyclopedia, formula, climax, allegory, and catastrophe, became integral to English vocabulary. The scientific revolution cemented Latin's position as the foundational language of intellectual discourse. As new disciplines emerged, Latin provided the specialized vocabulary needed to discuss novel concepts and discoveries. Terms in anatomy, cerebellum, radius; botany, pistil, stamen; astronomy, nebula, corona; and chemistry, oxygen, calcium, demonstrate how Latin became essential for scientific precision. Even today, new scientific and technical terms are frequently coined using Latin and Greek morphological patterns, demonstrating the enduring legacy of classical languages in modern English. Latin's enduring influence underscores its adaptability and ongoing relevance in shaping English vocabulary. As Bohr noted, language is the roadmap of a culture, and English today is a tapestry woven through centuries of interaction and adaptation. This linguistic heritage enriches our communication and connects us to a profound historical legacy that continues to evolve with our changing world. Latin remains foundational in medicine, with terms like diagnosis, virus, vaccine, and prescription used daily by healthcare professionals worldwide. Contemporary legal discourse relies on Latin phrases including habeas corpus, status quo, pro bono, and prima facie to express precise legal concepts. Scientific terminology draws extensively from Latin and Greek roots for precise, universally understandable terms like bacteria, fungus, cellular, and genetics. Modern vocabulary continues to incorporate Latin-derived terms including digital, media, virtual, network, agenda, video, and audio. For more information on this and other related issues, join our YouTube channel or our Instagram account